Hi, don't you ever find it somehow frustrating sometimes in life when you are given an assignment and you have no terms of reference? You are given a task to do and there's no clear guideline on how you're supposed to carry out the assignment that you've been given. Well, believe it or not, that happens also in life in general. Not knowing what your role is in a particular undertaking or how far you can go, what limitations you've got, tends to be a bit of a problem. I find that in the aviation environment, that has been taken care of. The pilots have what we call standard operating procedures and checklists. All they have to do, read that, know that. Some things they do out of memory, some things they follow through on the checklist. So there's a clear demarcation between what the pilot that's flying has to do and the non-flying pilot has to do. There is no confusion, there's no ambiguity. Now, I'd like to talk to the men, therefore, in relation to his role and responsibility in a relationship. It can be confusing, and it is confusing if you don't know what you have to do, how far you can do it, and when you must do what you need to do. So you find yourself infringing on somebody else's area. But if you know exactly what your role is, then there is no confusion, there is no noise about it, and you earn the respect that you deserve as a man. More often than not, when we are not respected accordingly, it's not because the woman has a thick head, but it's largely because we have lost our own position and we have misplaced ourselves, and therefore the woman gets confused and doesn't know how to relate to us. So then let's get down to it. Let's talk, you and me, man to man, face to face. Now, first of all, I take you back to the beginning. In Genesis, God spoke to the man. God gave instructions to you, the man. So you, the man, are expected to know what God wants, and you, the man, are expected to be capable of carrying out the assignment that God has for you. The woman came after Adam. Eve came after Adam. So Adam had the assignment to teach Eve what God had taught him. So if you are a man and you don't know what God wants, then I'm afraid you are already misplaced, because what are you going to teach the woman? And how do you expect the woman to show respect to you when you yourself don't know what you have to be telling her? You see, she comes to you fully hoping and believing that you've got all the information and all the answers to life. And trust me, you should have all the answers to life because you've got the blueprint, and that's the Bible. So you have to know what is in that book so that the wisdom that you need to relate to this woman can be in you, and you can be able to bring it out time and time again in the correct proportion with the right attitude that will make her receptive to what you have to say, and that will earn you some good respect. So just remember that you were created first, and God spoke to Adam first, and therefore you, as Adam, have to take the knowledge that you've received from God, the information that you've received from God, and impart to the woman. If you're a man and you don't know what is written in the Bible, I propose that from today onwards, start reading that book. If you don't know where to start, and it is wisdom you are searching for, I would say read the book of Proverbs over and over again. And then when you find that you've had enough of that book, then go to the Gospels in the New Testament and then read and know what Jesus said. Because remember that when he left, he said that we have to teach the world that which he has taught us. So which means that in all his teachings, there is great wisdom there. There is, in fact, the ultimate wisdom that we need to live by in today's world. Now, if you have the knowledge and the understanding and the applicability of that, now that's called wisdom. If you have all that entire package and you teach it to your woman, and you demonstrate it to your woman and you lead her in that wisdom, then you will have no problem with disrespect. She will have the ultimate respect for you because you're the man. And you cannot be the man in ignorance. You can only be the man in knowledge, in wisdom, in understanding. You've got to have that. Now I am equipping you and letting you know where to find that. Dig into the manual. The manual will make you the wisest man on earth, the wisest man that she's ever seen. And that will make it easy for her to honor you because she knows that whatever information she needs, whatever advice she requires, she can come to you. So don't you ever forget that. That is a trick for you. That is a message for you. That is a critical key area for you. That is where you should start. Equip yourself with information. Now, when God placed Adam, that is now you and me, in the Garden of Eden, he gave certain instructions. He said to Adam, tend the garden. He said to Adam, guard the garden. He said to Adam, keep the garden. Now let's talk about that. When you're talking about keeping something, that means now you have an assignment to maintain that particular area running in a proficient manner. Now that's how you keep something. That is, now you keep it running. That's what I'm saying. So your assignment is that for your family, you have got to make sure that it stays running on track. Now, scientists and economists will tell you that nothing is constant but change. So if you want to keep something, you need to know that there's going to be some changes happening. But your challenge as the man is to control those changes in a positive manner. So make sure that the changes that are happening in your family are towards progress, are towards improvement. So whatever plans you have, you need to show plans, you need to have plans, you need to demonstrate plans for improvement. When you talk to her, you need to speak progress, you need to speak brighter futures to her, and the systems you're going to put in place to make sure that happens. I believe that every woman wants to hear that there's hope for the future. Things may not be good today, but how the future will look tomorrow relies on you, Mr. Man. So remember that. You've got to keep the garden. You've got to keep that family. You've got to keep that family going. Stagnation is not an option. Stagnation is not an option. But keep it moving forward. Let's talk about guarding. Now, when we talk about guarding, we're talking about protection. Anything that threatens your family, it is your job to protect. Even if it threatens the reputation of your wife, maybe she does something wrong and her reputation becomes threatened. We are all human. We are not immune from mistakes. So in any case, in anything, your job is to protect her reputation. Your job is to protect her integrity. Your job is to protect her life physically. You have to protect her emotionally. You have to protect her in all areas. Your job is to guard her. Protect your wife. Protect your partner. That's your job as the man. You going around complaining that she's doing this and that and this and that and the other is not protecting. Instead, you are exposing her to the elements, and things are going to start creeping into your family or your relationship because you have exposed her. And then you're going to go around crying and complaining to the pastors, to the psychologists, to the counselors. No, you protect her. Your job is to protect her. Whatever goes wrong, whatever seems to go wrong, whatever wants to go wrong, your job is to protect her. You protect her even against herself, where there are tendencies to misuse, probably, let's say, finances, where there are tendencies to gossip. You have to protect her by training her against gossiping and giving her something productive to talk about. Because sometimes maybe she's gossiping because she's got no wisdom to impart to her friends or to her colleagues. Give her the wisdom that she can talk about. If she doesn't have any wisdom, her job is to talk, then she will talk nothing. She will start gossiping. Feed her. You protect her. Feed her with the word. Feed her with wise wisdom, with wise words. Then you'll be protecting her. And then God says tend the garden. Now, tending is all about working it and improving it and making it feel better, making it look better. So whatever happens, whatever plans you have, whatever actions you impart, whatever actions you undertake for your family, make sure that they are for improvement. She wants to hear you talk brightly about the future. She wants to hear you speak, prophesy the goodness of the Lord in your family for the future. You see, today is today, but today doesn't determine tomorrow. And she needs to hear that from you and not from the pastor, and not only from the pastor in church. By the time the pastor speaks about it in church, she must say, no, I heard it before. And she must already be believing it, because in your speech and in your actions, she can see that you're doing something about it. I give you an example. You want a better life. But the question is, are you starting something to improve your life? You want a promotion at work. But let me ask you a question. As you work in your workstation, are you working to the quality of performance that is a couple of levels above where you are now, so that you may be recognized? Or are you one of those people that say, I only get paid so much money, so I'm only going to do as much as I get paid for? Or my responsibility is, it goes this far, I'm only going to go that far. Well, if you work like that, trust me, you are not going any better. You are not going anywhere better. So that is now my challenge to you, that when you are tending this family, when you are keeping the relationship going, when you make sure that the relationship gets better, or the standard of life of the family improves, you need to be doing something about yourself. If you are into business, are you out there sourcing out new connections and new markets and new prospects and possibilities for your business to grow? These are things that are your responsibility, that you must now come and communicate to this woman, so that she can have faith and hope for the future and believe that you are indeed tending this family. So that is your job, Mr. Man. If you want respect, if you want to be honored by your wife, she needs to know that in you there is hope for the future. Now, you also need to be the visionary, which is what I've just covered now. That when you meet her, within the first 5 minutes of talking to her, she needs to know where she's going with you. This is not a drift zone. This is not just live and let live, but we're going somewhere. So she needs to know that from the first 5 minutes she meets you, she needs to know what it is you want and where it is you are going. And as you are in that life, and as you are in that family, as you are in that relationship, she needs to see that everything you are doing is leading towards that which you spoke of at the beginning. So your job is to be the visionary, and your job is to steer this family towards the vision that you sold in the first place. You see, then again, you have to sell the vision. You don't have to dictate it. You don't have to impose it, but you've got to sell it. She's got to buy into it. So you've got to be a tactician and how to express yourself. You've got to be eloquent in expressing your vision to her, so that she buys into it. And then every resource that she has, she will be encouraged to bring it and apply it towards your vision. And then the family will be fine. Sell that vision. Don't just go around doing things by yourself and expect it to follow through when she doesn't understand what's going on. Your job is to sell the vision. You have the vision. Sell it to her. Be eloquent. Be proficient in expressing it to her. And then watch her bring all her efforts, all her intellect, all her resources to your vision for it to be a success. And then you also have to be the lover. Now, as the lover, that means you've got to be caring in thought. Think positive thoughts. Think good thoughts. In speech, say good words to her. In deeds, do good things to her. Bring those presents. Now, remember that people understand love differently. For some people, it is when you touch them. You sit there and you just put your hands, just hold their hands in your hand. That is enough. For somebody else, they understand love as in time. Just spend time with them. Sit there and listen to them talk. And they like that. And for some people, it is when you do things for them. You bring them a present every now and then, or maybe a chocolate or a rose. That's what makes them happy. That is what they understand love to be. And then for some words, It's just service. When you do things for them, you know, one day they come back from work, they're tired, and they find you in the kitchen doing some cooking. Or maybe it's a critical time of the month and they're not feeling well, and all you just say, baby, just relax. I'll bring you breakfast in bed. You've got to understand your partner such that you must know what kind of love she understands. How does she interpret love? And then zone in and focus on that while you do everything else, but focus on that which she understands to be love. And then that way, you will earn your respect. That way, you will earn your honor. So, in other words, in conclusion, all that I'd like to say is the stability of your relationship is upon you. You set the pace as the man. You are the one that decides and dictates where this relationship is going to go. So I've given you some pointers now to know, but for you to for you to follow through, but for you to be able to improve that relationship, you've got to do one thing that's critical. You've got to be able to introspect. You must be able to criticize yourself. Search yourself on the inside. Search yourself where and find out where it is you are lacking. And then you improve yourself. Don't wait for somebody to come and tell you. Because if your friends come and tell you, or if your partner comes and tells you, you will become defensive. We don't want you in a defensive mode. We want you in a progressive mode. So the best way to progress is that you need to introspect. You yourself, critique yourself. Find out those areas that are lacking and then do what you need to do to improve yourself out of that lack and then become a better person. That's all I'm saying. If you do not have the art of introspection, I'm afraid you will never be a better person. Nobody knows it all. I don't know it all. I'm sharing this with you because I myself, this is a lesson. This is how I also train myself on a daily basis. And somebody else also does the same thing. So you could also do the same thing. If you can introspect and improve yourself, trust me, they will realize that. Your partner will realize that and will respect you and will honor you for the fact that you are in fact realistic about who you are and your capabilities. And then you'll be able to improve your life. You'll be able to improve your relationship. You'll be able to set your family on a higher on the highway to success. So I say to you, take the time, think about what I've just said, and apply it in your life, and see how good your future is going to be. Make it easy for her to honor you. Make it easy for her to respect you. Make it easy for her to say good things about you. Because now she wants to say good things about you. She wants to tell people about you. She wants to brag about you. But she cannot brag about you if you are not in your position. Get your SOPs. Get your standard operating procedures. Follow your checklist so that you do not infringe on her duties. Follow your checklist and do it proficiently. And then you will give her the pride and that eagerness to want to tell everybody about how good a man she's got in you. Thank you for your time. I hope this helps you. I hope this video changes your life for the better. And may God bless you.